Hello, everybody. You know what time it is. I know what time it is. We all know what time it is. That's right. It's time for Syntax Live. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm doing okay. And let's pretty much get into it. Before I start, I need something right here. I need something. I need a drink. Where is it? Oh, that's right. It's just like everybody else watching the program right now is the one says bad motherfucker. And that's what you guys all are. So pop a top and let's get to it. All right. I got a decent amount of notes we're going to be going over today. Excuse me. Okay, that didn't go down right. All right. Okay, we should be past the time everybody hits the skip button. So, going into the comments section, I noticed somebody in there called themselves Old Army. So am I. So you're in good company. And you know what? With everybody else in the chat right now, I can see we're all in good company. So, he was talking about how he likes the Galactic Wars, and where he said, "Oh no, I mean the Galactic War games. Both of them are good as long as you're not the one who shows up." And then the other guy goes, "Oh, by the way, here's your ass." You know, it's not exactly what we want. So, yeah. Thankfully, the jokes hit okay. I didn't get too many people saying that the jokes were bad. Oh, too bad. But yeah, trying to joke around in that type of situation is called dark humor. We all know it is, and it's just how a lot of us deal with stress. So hopefully it didn't hit and crash and burn. Too many dad jokes, and you guys like, oh man, oh Sin, you suck. All right. You guys brought up the fact that I named some supporters. Yes, I did. I couldn't quite get them all in because I tried to get them to fit. I think guard, you're in here. I should have actually used you as the certain type of guard and just not say what MTF stood for. Anyway, I'll try to do better on that one. Just a reminder before I go any further, anybody sends a super chat, if you send a bill or better, you're still going to be listed off for a month. Don't worry, I keep track of it. So just a heads up on that. Also, let's see. Oh, yeah, I tried to get 6 supporters in there. Sorry, guys, I did fail on that. I only got the 5. And thankfully, one of you figured out I was calling for Lana when I said danger zone, using that one. And yes, I can say that on a live stream. I can't put that in the video specifically because I'll get friggin' dinged by copyright, which tell me that doesn't just annoy the shit out of you. I mean, seriously, what is wrong with these folks? All right. During It's Raining, there was somebody brought up the whole idea of the lack of clothing of most other Xenos and how that might be an issue. Now, I wanted to just make a point with those, and it was just the fact that different cultures look at it different ways. I could do the same thing on this planet, and we all know where I could be going with that, but I'd rather not go to at that point. It's just some people dress more conservative, some people dress more modestly. I've been places where people don't dress. And I still remember walking in going, where did you just take me? And of course, the one who brought me there, she was laughing her ass off. Anyway, but yeah, with all those, it's going to be a common thing, looking into different clothing and whatnot, because again, different creatures are going to wear different stuff. I mean, could you see an octopus with a turtleneck on? I mean, seriously, what the hell? On to the next one that came in. Since it was October, I decided to do one of the freakier type of stories. The what is it this time? Just an FYI, that was not meant to be a series. If it gets a whole bunch of views all of a sudden, I might consider it. But unlike the files, that was not meant to be a series. That was just meant to be a standalone remote viewer type of thing. That's why the Kazarev mirror was talked in there. Going down to, and hopefully the something kicking in isn't catching on the microphone too much. On the story, that's scary once. That I brought that up because actually somebody was talking to me about how they can't watch sequels to any of the sci-fi movies because it's scary one time, and they try and they try and they try and they fail miserably to make the same thing scary again. Once people know about it, how the frick is that supposed to be scary? It's just what it is, folks. It's the reason why most horror movies are just one movie and they don't make a whole series out of it. Now, obviously, the Scream, or was it Scary Movie? Not Scary Movie. The Scream franchise. What the hell was it? Where they have the Traps franchise. That one, that was a flash in the pan, folks. A straight up flash in the pan. All right. Somebody brought up the fact that having a xenomorph wasn't actually scary. I should have used the thing. I wanted to show that the other side was limited by their technology. And let me adjust this. This is actually off. But that's what that comes down to. You notice I said that the xenomorph they created. Now I didn't actually call it a xenomorph because again, I could definitely get dinged on a actual video. However, it was a little slower. It was a lot dumber. It didn't quite have the super acid like they wanted. They couldn't quite get it, the hilariously overpowered stuff that we're used to. But they said the thing would have worked better. Seriously, create a blob like that, a thinking blob that doesn't immediately try to suck in the entire planet. I mean, it's almost as bad as nanotechnology. Almost. It's basically like the Flood from Halo. Although, thank you for making me laugh when you said forget the Xenos, because the xenomorphs are scary, but clowns, now those are horrifying. That was funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny right there. The whole thing about clowns were there to distract you when somebody screwed up in the circus. That was their whole thing. The whole idea of send in the clowns. That's because something during the act screwed up, period. And they don't want you to see what's going on. They're trying to reset something. Send in the clowns. So it's their version of bread and circuses, just on a smaller level. Now, somebody said you're enjoying the scary movies. What's your favorite scary story? I try, folks. There's only so many things you can do that somebody hasn't done as far as cryptids and things of that nature. Not to mention this channel is not focused primarily on that. If you want more, then I'll do my best to give you more. But I get very what's the word I'm looking for? I get deep into the mind on that one. It's more psychologically twisting. So I don't know if that one really fit in with the channel, but it is what it is. I wanted to bring this up, guys. There's going to be extensions on stories. I have gone it. You can't see it, but I got everything in file folders here. I spent like 5 or 6 hours trying to get all my notes squared away because I had them just stacked up like a moron. And as I'm going through, I see a bunch of stories that I haven't finished yet. I've got, let's see, Bonding was a one-off that was supposed to be gone. Let's see, Galactic War Games. You're going to get that eventually. War Changes, Humans Don't. That was supposed to keep going. Now, this one surprised me that people wanted To Hell With You. If you haven't read that one, if you haven't heard that one, I'm not going to spoil anything because there's a major twist towards the back end. But that one could have easily been extended. Now, I have to hold up and wait a minute right now because we got a $5 super chat from MTF Guard. Let me actually write you in here, Guard. And he says, here's your weekly allowance, Sin. Don't spend it all in one place. $5 will get me about just over a gallon of fuel because I drive a diesel. It's a diesel car. Don't worry about it. But I do appreciate that, Guard, very much. And I appreciate everybody being here tonight. So back to the story. And once again, thank you. Let's see. If you haven't heard To Hell With You, it's kind of a creepy one. That one just hit me like a brick, and I had to get it out. There's also my wonderful isekai story. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And of course, everyone's favorite. I won't mention who, but it starts with ambush and ends with predators. Oh, shoot, this one fell out. There's also something else here. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to mention this one. I'll let you guys guess because this one was requested, and It's getting extended tonight. I got it. I actually have it written. It's right here. Oh, I'm not going to show you the front page because it's got all my extra notes on it. But we're talking, let's see. Yeah, about 10, 15 pages. Or closer to 10, actually. And that one's coming in tonight, but I'll let you guys guess which one that is. And by the way, if there is another series you want extended specifically, by all means, put in the comment section, or you can put it on tonight. I'll throw up my notes. I try to get at my notes as much as possible, guys, but it's difficult to do. I barely had enough time to get everything ready because I've been throwing wood all day. That's not fun. So let's see. On to the next part of my notes. I wanted to bring up the fact that why food is such a big deal in science fiction. Now, for things like the Trekkie Treks, nobody gives a shit because the replicator is going to give you synthahol wrapped in a freaking hand job. I mean, that thing will do anything to you. But the idea of food, okay, good, decent, especially fresh food in most sci-fi is such a huge deal. That's why I've used it so much in my stories. Even Babylon 5 made a whole scene, which is fairly well credited, of getting bacon and eggs on a space station. Now, does that scene hold up to scrutiny? Absolutely not, because I can get bacon and eggs anywhere. Okay, I can set up eggs to be preserved for 30 or 40 years. Okay, there's ways of doing it. It's ultra pasteurization and putting them in a sealed bag, but they can still do it. You also just freeze bacon. It's not that hard. But they wanted to show that good food is something every single person wants. Okay, it's just there. It's a universal thing. And if you can get good food, and I'm trying to remember the name of the story where the guy said, "Hey, I want my ship repaired," and the guy said, "Well, you're gonna have to wait 2 months." He's like, "Here's a half a dozen fresh tomatoes off the vine," and that brought him straight to the front of the line because that was bribery. Fresh food was such a huge commodity, and it's a huge commodity now. Just look around the world. You really think it's going to change in hard science fiction? In science fantasy, like Star Wars, they just eat these little wafer crackers or these little tubes. I don't know. They go around with laser dildos. I guess they want to shove a tube in their mouth. I don't know what the fuck's going on with those guys. But that has literally everything they're going to need nutrition-wise. Look, guys, I've lived off nothing but ration bars before. It gets old fast, and you would just kill for anything. Even a Snickers bar that's going to make you violently sick in 30 minutes. You just want to taste anything. So it's going to, I'm just bringing this up because I want you to know that it's going to continue to be a big deal and should be in any hard science fiction. All right, on to the next subject here. The Star Wars boycott. It's interesting we went down there. The Star Wars boycott continues. Okay, I've been seeing so much, and I'm sure all you guys have as well. Everybody's getting there. We're just done with Star Wars. We're done with the woke. We're done with the pandering. We're tired of you trying to deliver the message and all that other bullshit. We're done, people. We are absolutely freaking done with Disney. We're done with Lucasfilm. We're done with Kendi. We're done with all that shit. And I mean the Kathleen type, not the one who's trying to actually fix our food supply. But we're just done with everything that Disney's attached to. And it's getting worse, folks. I mean, seriously, who thought a trans clone was a good idea? Whoever it was needs to be punched in the face, shot, and let them bleed out in the street. I mean, just why? You already killed Boba Fett, or why do you want to kill that? Never mind. I just answered my own question. They killed Boba Fett, and they have to kill his progeny. That's the whole. It just hit me. I forgot. It's somebody with a Y chromosome. They got to kill it. So, but yeah, you step on your own junk like that, and it's just you lose consistency. You lose people listening. Pure and simple. If I screw up consistency, you guys let me know it, and I fix it. They screw up consistency. They don't care. They're just like, I'll just take it what it is. but you have to pay us because we're Star Wars. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. They can friggin' find the darkest part of my ass and kiss it repeatedly. This is all whatever. Actually, you know what? I don't want them anywhere near there. Lord knows what they try to do. Just, ugh. Okay. Here, I'm walking myself into a corner here because that's just wrong. Okay, there is changing subject here. There is a rise in the AI channels. Okay, they're even coming in my feed, so much so that I have to sit there and click not interested on one side of the screen, at least 3 of them. That's what's showing. And I don't even listen to any of these. I don't listen to Aqua Squirrels or Net Narrator or anything like that. They're just showing up. They're freaking everywhere. So fair warning, folks, don't get sucked in by those. If you listen to one, that one is attached to 50 other fucking channels. And even if you dislike that one, they're going to throw all the rest of them at you. Okay. Now, on that, I understand, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. AI will end up putting everyone out of work eventually. Actually, technology will put us all out of work eventually. It's just a thing. It's going to happen. Don't fight it super hard because it is what it is. AI is going to be there. It's already taken over a lot of jobs. Hell, raising in technology of just something as simple as emails ended up getting most secretaries fired. Unless that secretary was, on the slide with her boss, there was no reason for a secretary. You already had your voice mails and everything like that. You had your emails. Everything was now on your computer. You didn't need an extra person. Why in the hell are you paying for them? Boom, done. And it's coming for all of us, folks. I mean, now I just saw some self-driving cars the other day. I couldn't believe what the hell I was seeing. I really was like, what in the shit? So, man. All right. It's bad, folks. It's bad. But I will say this, this channel will continue as long as I can create stories, and we will be, and I have to stop and wait a minute because we got another $5 super chat from Chris Dixon. You're on week 3 of your original one. You've already sent in a bunch. I appreciate even more, Chris, but I don't want you to go in the poorhouse. He says, for not AI overlord. Well, thank you. I am quite real. Okay, there. Oh shit! Wow, here we go. Whoa, they're flying in now. It's a wave. It's a whole bunch of wave because I got another $5 super chat from Erica Gem. Let me write down. I hope you've been looking at the end of the shows there, Erica, because I've been putting different stuff on for you when you actually donate and you get your stuff for the week. And I'm sure whenever you guys send in, don't forget you get your stuff at the end of the video. So even if you don't watch the full video, go in and just watch that last part and see where you are. And if you have a specific thumbnail, specific pictures, specific anything you want in yours, email me. Don't just comment. I'd appreciate if you actually email me. I forgot to put it in the bottom of this. That's my fault, but it's usually in the bottom of every other video I do. I was kind of in a rush today. It is what it is. I almost forgot to put on you guys' favorite shirt, But anyway, thank you again, Chris. Thank you very much, Erica. I very much appreciate it. And thank you for keeping the channel going. And I see that, Guard. You can't block the channel. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't, which I think is bullshit. But it is what it is, unfortunately. Because if you could block the channels, believe me, there'd be a lot of channels that get 0 views ever. It's just absolutely crazy. All right. Let's see. Okay, on to the next subject. I've been seeing a lot of this stuff about Warhammer. And I wonder if it can be saved. At this point, it isn't far enough down the rabbit hole where you would lose them. Okay, this can be saved. They simply have to backtrack on the female custodians and stick with the original lore. Now, I don't think they will because they've already pushed Henry Cavill out. and he was all in for that. He's a huge fan, just like he's a fan of The Witcher. The guy is a hardcore gamer, even though he's, got that chiseled jaw that make any woman freaking have her skirt off faster than I can say, what? And, has a freaking, he's a mesomorph. He's naturally ripped. The guy is physically gifted and he loves this stuff. He wants to make it good, but he's not allowed to make it good. And that's, what makes it look like he's working for FEMA or something. They want to do it, but he's waiting for authorization. What the fuck, over? But can it be saved? Yes. Will it be saved? That's another question altogether, because we're going to be getting into another one that I think is too far gone. But Warhammer, I think you guys, you have a chance. You haven't fully fallen off the cliff, but right now somebody's grabbing your hand and trying to pull you back on, but their hands are slippery. They might not be able to pull you back on. And I hope for those of you who Warhammer fans, you get your stories, you get your genre, you get your game back, because this is bullshit that they would actually treat you guys so poorly. I'm not a Warhammer fan myself. I tried a Warhammer story and it sucked and blew at the same time, somehow breaking physics in the process, by the way. That being said, I will never do another Warhammer story again, simply because, well, except for real life or fantasy, where I just kind of touched on them, because I can't do it justice. Pure and simple, as a creator, if I can't do it justice, stay the fuck away from it. If you want to screw people over, be OnlyFans creator. I don't give a shit. Sorry, something's coming back up. That's why I keep nipping at that. It's, for some reason, something's in. But yeah, Warhammer, good luck. However, the next series, which I think is gone, unfortunately, which is a series I've loved for almost 20 years, probably more than 20 years. It actually was the first game I did a LAN party with, is Halo. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but they hired a diversity hire to run Halo, and she couldn't run the entire series into the ground faster if she tried. It is just absolutely sickening what they're doing. They're trying to change up everything. And I'm just like, no, you have an established lore. And I'm sorry, you do not put a anti-firearms activist in charge of a first-person shooter. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you? First-person shooter, bang, bang. Bullet, 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 bang, bang, bang. This is what they do. This is what you're supposed to do. Would you sit there and walk up to the folks who make Doom and say, well, now you're going to go into hell, but you're going to have to throw teddy bears at their face? What the hell is this limp-wristed bullshit? Oh my God. The Master Chief, by the way, is a fucking Navy SEAL by its own definition. He's not a space marine. He never was. If you read the book, they keep calling him Swabby, okay, which is what Marines used to call Navy. I don't know if they still do that. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is he's Navy. He's their special forces, just like he's part of ONI, Office of Naval Intelligence. That being said, if I was a Navy SEAL and I saw this, I'd be pissed. If they're trying to Fruit Loop my guys, it's just like, what? Hold on. I need to take a breath. Okay, what the hell were they thinking? I mean, seriously, what the hell were they thinking? I swear, it's this DEI crap from, okay. I know what happened. I know why all this is happening. It annoys the piss out of me, because just like everything else, there's a triangle, especially when it comes to business. Doesn't matter what side of the base you're on. If you work up through the bosses, you will eventually come up to one person in charge. One. The one in charge of making sure all this DEI crap is there, and SEG or whatever the hell they call it, is the guy who owns BlackRock, one of the richest people, if not the richest person on the planet. which is why Star Wars sucks so much, because they says, oh, make sure you put all this crap in and we'll give you X of millions of dollars, which is guaranteed under the table. No one's going to see it. So if they're losing money, but they're getting supplemented by this other freaking jackass who simply wants to sit there and go, oh, I want something else inside this instead of, oh, I can't even do that. I'm so mad. You're talking about a game I used to sit with my friends. After 2 weeks in the field, we would go get like 4 or 5 cases of beer, a couple bottles of liquor. Usually it was wine, and that was for the girlfriends. We would hook up a bunch of Xboxes. It was stretched all over the house, like 5 different rooms. Okay, well, no, 4 different rooms. And we would just blast the shit out of each other. And we would have fun. It was fun. The game's supposed to be fun, not fruity. You want a fruity game, you go play a fruity, you frou-frou fuck. I want a game where I can kill somebody, okay? Oh my God. It's as bad as the whole Laura Croft thing, okay, guys? It's just, I don't know if you guys seen that one, but they killed that character was on life support, and they officially pulled the fucking plug. Okay, first off, she's got the physique of a dude. Okay, her tits are so small, they're actually touching her spine, for one. 2, now she has a fold. Okay, I have to stop, and I have to wait a minute because we got a $10 super chat from the SS Demon. Let me write you on here so I don't forget. And he says, I'm going to try to start commenting after each live stream so people can go to my profile where my email is. So if anyone wants to join War Sniper, Ava, and I on Discord, I can invite you. Hope you hear from you. Oh, hey, definitely. Folks, get on here immediately. As soon as I'm done with this, I probably have to bolt out and help my brother. But definitely you guys do the whole, what was it? Helldivers thing, if I remember correctly. And, I believe the artificial intelligent virtual assistant there, I think she'll virtually assist you by dropping on your fucking head. I hope you guys don't mind the cursing tonight, but a lot of this stuff is making me mad. I mean, if it doesn't make you mad, I don't know what the hell to do. And I do hope you guys hit the like button while you're doing this. But, yeah, definitely. If you guys want to go and hang out with the Demon and head out with the War Sniper and the Ava device, feel free to go in, and he'll be in the comments section below. Down there, and hey, you meat gazer, I saw you looking. All right. All right. Back to the wonderful world of Halo. I wonder what their plasma grenades are going to explode up into. Flowers? I mean, Okay. On a better note, slightly better note, I noticed, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a new Starship Troopers trailer that just dropped. And it looks like it should, but it also looks like Helldivers. I mean, seriously, it looks just like Helldivers. Why? Because Helldivers was meant to look like Starship Troopers. The only issue I have on this at all is because the suits that the mobile infantry from Starship Troopers wear are supposed to be so bulky and big that they look like big gorillas, which is the whole idea of, hey, you apes, let's go, you want to live forever. That's the whole point. That's straight out of the book. It's an awesome book. I love the book. I have a copy of the fucking book. It's right over here. I'll show it to you. You guys want to see it. But it actually looks like a fun time. It looks like a fun shooter. And hey, why the hell not? I mean, seriously, why in the hell not? Because if they're going to say, here's your promised game, it's a shooter against giant bugs on different atmospheres and different worlds, and you get to blow them up, you get to burn them, you get to throw grenades down their throat, you get to shove something right up there, and all this other fun stuff, and they deliver. Boom. Then you can enjoy the game. Enjoy the game while you can before they end up dropping in their pink outfits. But it's not pink, it's magenta. Okay. I digress. Because if they kill Starship Troopers, I might I might have to do bad things. I'm and I don't mean bad things like go hunting someone down. I'm going to have to go to the range and sit there and just yell pull like 50 times until I run out of fucking ammo. Just and yes, I do go skeet shooting. But anyways, it looks like a decent game. It looks like they got at least one more different type of trooper in the Starship Troopers game compared to the Helldivers. I could be wrong, but it looks very similar. And I'm sure they're trying to capitalize on the fact that Helldivers came back, even though Starship Troopers still, folks, if you can't read the book, get the audiobook, just listen to it. Okay. It's really good. And I believe you can get a version of Casper Van Dien, who was the original Rico from the movie, to do the audio. I believe you can do that. He did. He does a lot of the voiceovers now for the CGI movies, which I think are so much better than the live. I think the live action movies suck nuts. I mean, they're just bad. They're fun, especially if you're drunk, or for some of you guys who partake on something a little stronger than that. And then you look at it and go, God, this is stupid. It's even funnier, but it's funny when I'm high. Ha. But the CGI movies are really well done. Just really well done. They miss a couple small things, but not enough for me not to enjoy it. But anyway, enjoy the Starship Troopers one. You guys brought up last week the Dragonfly cargo helicopter from Halo. And do I think it's practical? Yes, I do. It's basically an oversized quadcopter. Okay, it is what it is. Now, it's actually kind of a ripoff of the Space Above and Beyond cargo vessel, which is a ripoff of an actual aircraft that we used in Vietnam that they nicknamed the Jolly Green Giant. Go ahead and look it up if you want, but it's a giant. They actually use the same thing in the, what the hell was that? Freaking, sorry, I had it right in my head, folks, and it just kind of went away. Swordfish. Swordfish was the movie when they turned the ground pursuit and they lifted the bus up. That was that same helicopter, just when it's in military service, it's painted green. That's why they call it that. Anywho's, the yeah. Why do I think it looks like it works? Because it looks like it fucking works. Period. It's a good design. It's practical. It works. But that one's the only one. The only other Dragonfly I could see for helicopters, guys, was a type of RC helicopter, and I'm pretty sure that's not what you were talking about. Okay, I'm going to pull back a little bit from science fiction and talk a little science fact, which when I was a kid, this was science fiction. SpaceX not only was able to have a rocket take off from the planet's surface, go out of the planet's orbit, release its payload, they were able to bring it back and land it right where it started. And I saw this, and when I first saw it, I thought it was just really good CGI. I was wrong. This was real, and I was like, wow, this is fucking game changing. This is seriously beyond game changing because we're not limited to NASA and their total BS. I mean, seriously, some people have acronyms for NASA that are funny and just, I don't know, never arrived in space ever. Something, I don't know, some great, crazy stuff. But we don't have to worry about NASA. We actually have somebody who knows what they're doing and is doing everything he can to get our asses up off this rock. And it's thank you. I mean, it falls in the whole thing. They say that the first person to live forever has already been born. We'll see. I personally think frequency is going to be really big on that, and I think light's going to be really big on that with certain photons hitting the body. I think that's going to be a huge deal, and it's going to be a game changer when we're able to use that on a broad system. Not to mention, there's what was that, the DMT stuff, or no, not DMT. I'm trying to remember what it is. There's a lot of celebrities are putting it in their body. It's The stuff that, let me phrase it right. Your body creates this stuff called MNN. That helps to create a different type of chemical in your body that your body naturally will create when you're young. But for most of us, after we're done growing, we have about a 5-year window, and then it starts to drop pretty dramatically over time. If you're able to pump those numbers back up, even artificially, boom, then you are definitely going to start seeing a major lift in not only your physical, but your mental health. And if this is a thing and people just got to, have a drink, oh, wait, could this be something similar they were talking about to that really bad Disney movie where people wanted to live forever and they just had to drink their shake once a day? Could it be that they were talking about this? Maybe they were trying to say hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Who knows? We'll see. But I will say this. If you guys haven't seen it, just punch in like return rocket, SpaceX or something like that. And at first you think for a second it's going to explode when one of the side boosters fires. I thought for sure that thing was going to blow up, but nope, it landed, and it landed nice and soft. I'm just like, oh, thank you. All right. Changing here one last time to one more before we head to the chat box here. I noticed there's a whole bunch more like CGI movies. They're trying to make Gundams come back. I'm sorry, I could never get into that. I only a few of them could I get into. One, because it was kind of goofy and funny, and the other because it was as practical as they could possibly make it, which was Double X and 8th MS Team. Okay, Double X was goofy as hell. I'm sorry, but when you when you sit there and say, "Oh my God, if this works, I'll believe in God," things turn on. Hey, guess what? I believe in God. I was like, what the fuck? So, anyways, that was just a goofy one. But the 8th MS Team was very practical, and it showed that one of the main bonuses of a weapon system like that is you can change out weapon systems very, very quickly. Basically, about as fast you can change your person. However, they also showed that with that much mass, you're moving a lot slower than you want to, which I thought was nice, but they didn't do it well enough. You know who does it better is BattleTech. You guys all know I'm a huge BattleTech fan. Why? Because it's very, very practical. When they realized that the air or land air mechs, where a humanoid machine would take off, transform into a jet, and fly away, and it's supposed to transform, land, and fight, it doesn't make any sense, because when you actually do the numbers, the limited armor that you have means that thing isn't any thicker than aircraft aluminum. That thing lands and tries to fight something like a heavy or meat, or even even fights a light mech. It's going to be just perforated in moments. And then there's all that machine or all that money, and most likely the pilot is freaking toast. They realized that was bullshit, and they kind of threw it in the dustpan. It's non-canonical anymore. It's not there. But then what? You know what? Fuck it. I'm done with that. Hold on. You guys got me so spun up. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Okay. Let me scroll up here to where we all started, where everybody was saying hi before we got in. Everybody's up there saying hi to everybody. Let me go. MTF Guard saying, I got the dark humor. Yeah, I'm sure you do. Oh, he's actually going to say it. Okay, dude, don't get me kicked off, but I'm going to read it. He says, where did the Arab kid go when he walked into the minefield at night? He went over there. Oh, he went over there, over there, over there, over there, over there, over there. Oh, it's on my boots. Oh. Yep. That's, you're only supposed to say over there, over there, over there. No more than 4. You don't want to have any more than that, because that's overkill. I'd like to laugh at that. Unfortunately, I have actually seen a kid blow up, so to me, it's not the funniest thing. And yeah. Anyway, He went there, and everywhere. Yep, that bite me. Yeah, he understands that one. Yep. Okay. Lena says, I can't take Uzumaki seriously anymore. It's just dumb comedy to me. Uzumaki. Is that the Naruto thing? So that's the only thing I can think of. You'd have to name the series. If that's the name of the series, I haven't heard it. But that's the only thing I can think of with the Uzumaki in it. Yeah, I couldn't take Naruto seriously. The only reason I watched any of it is I was deployed, and you will watch anything. I watched all 10 seasons of Smallville. I'm sorry, what in the fuck? I mean, you can't be that bored. I actually sat and watched Stargate. I didn't even enjoy the series, and I watched the whole damn thing. I even watched their movies. I don't know how many books I read when I was over there. You'd be surprised how much downtime you actually have. Let's see. Are you talking about Ichigo from Bleach? Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Something is definitely right. We have a Brian Kemp right here. And as soon as I get you written down here, Brian, I'm going to read your $20 super chat. He says, it's my Friday off for the next 7 days. Enjoyed the rain and scary stories. You guys haven't even guessed what's coming up yet, but then again, I haven't scrolled through these yet. Anyway, I do appreciate that, Brian. I appreciate it very much. And by all means, enjoy your 7 days off. Make sure you recharge, charge those batteries back up, because, once you get back to it, you got to get back to it. But don't look at the bad part. Just enjoy where you are at the moment, and have a good one. Okay, let me scroll back up here real quick. Oh, I overshot it. Okay. Let's see. Leonid's here says, first Joker movie was good. The second one was a cash grab and a musical. What? I didn't even see the first one. All I saw was that scene was like, you get what you fucking get. And they made a big deal about that. I'm like, what? But yeah, they did a musical with Lady Gagme, the woman who actually wants to be Gem. I'm sorry. There's only one Gem, and she's in the comment section right now. What the fuck? But yeah, anything that has to do with her, I'm done. I'm out. Chris Dixon says, not wrong about the food. After about 2 weeks of MREs, I always got sicker in hell. Yeah. Honestly, most of what you're getting sick from is the fact that there's almost no sugar in MREs. That's one of the main things, folks. If you're in any type of, say, survival type situation where you can't get a resupply, you're going to find between the first and third day, everyone's going to get really nasty, and it lasts for about a week. Reason being is everybody's going through withdrawal. You're either going through caffeine withdrawal, where you're going to have one hell of a headache, and you can't, I don't care how many pills, you can't get rid of it. You're going to go through nicotine withdrawal, and if you've been around anybody who's trying to quit smoking, you know exactly the hell that happens, especially when you have to be in close proximity to them. They're going to be going through sugar withdrawal as well, because a lot of us, especially on this side of the pond, sugar is a major portion of our diet. A little too much, okay? This, believe it or not, is the only soda I have ever, is when I'm talking with you guys. Because I don't even put sugar in my coffee in the morning. I don't even care for coffee black, but unfortunately I'm hooked on caffeine. So I'm killing one, but keeping another, but baby steps. But yeah, that's just the way it is. And when I did Survival 101, I honestly didn't touch that for a good reason. And hold on a second. What the? Okay. Sorry. Somebody sent me. I thought it was an emergency call, folks. Sorry for that. Anyways, I got to get back to him later. But anyways, yeah, it's the withdrawal, going back to real things. So if any of you end up going on a diet, by the way, and you actually eat clean, don't be surprised if you snap at people in that first week. Okay. And just like breaking one habit or building a new one, the first week is hard. The second week is a lot harder, but by the end of the third week, you can't argue with results. I did a whole time without sugar for almost a year. And I'll tell you what, even drinking this would have been too sweet. So anyway, let me get back. Let's see. Alan says, Sin, did you get a chance to lead the last Centurion? Nope, I have barely had enough time to shower. You know, I didn't even shave this morning. I'm going to write this down. The last Centurion. Although every time I hear Centurion, I keep thinking the Centurion battle mech. So, let's see. Lena says, you can find food almost anywhere, especially when you eat what you hunt. Anime about eating food in a dungeon. Yeah, that's actually true. But don't forget, the guy ate uncooked meat. That was a scene that was going around everywhere. I couldn't get away from it, so I clicked on it. It was only like a 2-minute thing. I'm like, what is this? And honestly, it's not the style of drawing I care for, but I wasn't going to sit there and watch a whole series because I can't afford to. And yeah, the guy got sicker than hell. You got to be careful. Oh, delicious in dungeon. That's okay. Thank you, Bite Me, for adding that one in. So from what I've seen, it's not a bad anime. If you guys want one, apparently that's a good recommendation. I just haven't seen it, so I can't say anything else on it. MTF Gar says, have a soldier hold a can with the bottom cut out, and when the Xeno opens the can, the human punches him through the can and said, you just opened a can of whoop ass. Okay. I got to write that down. Can of whoop ass. I got to write here, literal. Yeah. We used to joke around with it every time somebody took a picture inside the bird when we were on even a training airborne drop. It's a picture from inside an actual can of whoop ass. Then somebody in the Marines thought it would be funny, and they took a picture inside their boat on tracks. And it's like, no, this is a real can of whoop ass. Like, does it hold freaking 70 guys? No, shut up. Bite Me says, I'm getting spammed by AI channel shit too. Yep, you're right. And there's Guard saying, can't you block channels? No, you can't. You can show uninterested, and that's it. That being said, I've had this happen, and it's annoying. I will sit there and I will see the name, right there of whatever channel. I will click on not interested, boop, and then the next time I refresh the page, I will actually see the same name of a different video, same channel on there. I'm like, you bastard, what do I got to do? Go not interested for the entire thing? What the fuck? And these AI channels, they'll pop out like 2 or 3 a day. You can't go and click on each of them. It'd be nice if you could block the channels. It really would be. I would recommend it. I mean, if somebody wants to block me because they don't like my channel, okay, no hair off my ass. Although I'd like to take some hair off my ass. But regardless, whatever. If you don't like the channel, you don't like the channel. Okay. Erica Jem said, you fox girled me? Under my breath, but it makes me feel good. Yeah, see, even Guard appreciates that one too. Like I said, anybody remember, don't forget, if you want a specific picture for anybody who donates, let me know, because even Brian sent his stuff in. Sir has said specifically what he wants. Coslin, he's usually not in here, but maybe he might be in tonight. I didn't know what else to use. He didn't say it. That's why I had the Winged Hussars. If you don't know who they are some of the most badass motherfuckers ever to grace this planet. So, and they're Polish, and he's from Poland. So there you go. See, on to the next one here. It says, Bite Me says, I'm not happy about the AI takeover. I don't think it's going to turn out well. No, it's going to be very painful. It's going to be, and I look at it the same way as the Industrial Revolution. Originally, a lot of people left the farms and went to work in factories because they were producing a lot. And all the farmers were like, oh shit, now what the hell do we do? Do we force a whole bunch of more slavery? Which, believe it or not, it did actually increase slavery because there was a labor shortage. So these guys had to buy what they could to get people in the field. However, that came back to bite them in the ass when cotton gins and tractors came out, because the tractors meant guys like, why in the hell do I have all these guys? Why do I have employees now too? You got an employee. I don't need you anymore. I got this freaking tractor. Here's an off. Go fuck it. But it's going to be one of those things. It's going to take a while for everything to stabilize. That is what I'm getting at. There's going to be an initial, oh shit, and people are going to lose whatever job they have, and then they're going to have to move over to a different job, which is why back about a couple of years ago, they said to a few people, learn to code, because that was just learn a new career. Go pay to get the certification to do something else. I mean, if somebody wanted to say you lost your career, I don't know, dog grooming or something, and the only thing you can do now is drive, then pay the money, go to the driving school, and go get your hazmat certification and a few others, become a suicide jockey, and that's the only way to make money. Because there's no way in shit right now they're letting AI control hazmat. It ain't going to happen. Anyway, but I'm just saying, eventually it's going to happen. Be prepared for a rough road for a few years. The technology's got to catch up with everything else. Okay, War Sniper said, did someone say Fox Girl? Where's the foxy lady? Let's see. Isaac, the only AI channel I listen to is Hogfell. They actually produce some good stuff. They just narrate the stories. Yeah, most everybody just narrates stories. Unfortunately, you can tell when the AI programs are really kicking in hard because all their different channels will have basically the same story. If I see another one of, they found an alien princess who fell in love with the guy. Seriously, this has been done to fucking death. I did it. I've done that story. And even by the time I was done, I'm like, man, this is cliche as fuck. I got to do something. And that was Astray. Actually, that was meant to be a play on words. Astray. And yeah. That's why that changed about halfway through the story, how things get kind of odd. I just leave it at that. And not odd in a schnook way. You know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Lean it again. I just watched anime Obsolete first 11 episodes. It's realistic military sci-fi. Episode 12, 3 anime girls fight each other to the death in space using exosuits. I love it. 10 out of 10, he says. Yeah. Okay. Why the hell not? Are they exosuits? Are they mobile suits? Or are they that's what I'd like to know, because again, the idea of a giant robot suit and you're in a command couch with just a couple of levers does not fly. If they plugged it into your brain, yes, you'd move, but you're still moving a lot slower than what they say. Something that big does not just go really fast. No, it just doesn't work that way. Actually, I don't know if you guys remember, there's an old series called Nadesco, and they even said that because the guy got a larger suit, and they kept saying, yeah, you're tougher, but you're going to move slower due to the larger mass, which was a great line, and because it's true, it worked. Okay, Erica says, this was a busy day off for me. Clean, made pizza crust, and apple crumble. Oh, jeez, you're making me hungry. Small grocery shopping, and after this, writing. Ooh. I'm interested to see what you write when you're done. You don't have to send me any parts. Let me know when you're done if you want it on the channel. FYI, if you want something on the channel and you wrote it and narrated yourself, you're going to have to send me an actual file, and we'll go from there. Because again, I'm all for setting people up for success, folks. I hate being set up for failure. I've seen it happen. I've had it happen to me. I think it's bullshit, and it's always will be bullshit. Okay, Guard says, I mean, as happy as I am that Warhammer is getting a bunch of cool-ass 3D animated videos, which, by the way, the new ones are pretty good, I can't help but notice the fact that the past 2 have been completely focused on girl bosses. Yes, I have noticed that too. The only thing I liked about the previous one that I talked about last week is the fact that it showed that the Guard can be total fucking badass motherfuckers too, and they're not just cannon fodder for everyone else. You want cannon fodder, go to the green guys with the big teeth. But yeah, you're right. It is very girl boss heavy. And again, all they have to do is downshift a little bit and pull back, and they would just bring everything back. I mean, when they had the sisters of whatever the fuck, the girls, when they go through their changes, it makes their hair go white. I'm sorry, that's a badass woman, and they're usually quite attractive. Unfortunately, whatever the hell they do to those women makes them look almost identical to each other. So I don't know if that's a style choice of Warhammer or whatever, but regardless, I don't mind having a story based on them because it works in the series. But you're right, it is very girl boss heavy, especially when you listen to the dialogue of who's getting over on who, and I'm just like, whatever. He continues with the first episode of the Titus was a female custodian. Really? I didn't even notice that. Second one is a female guardsman. Saw that. Who somehow has one of those anti-light armor anti-light armor. Oh, I think you put the dash in the wrong spot. Anti-light armor, plasma guns, and a power sword. While the commissar, the commissar she is with has a simple chain sword and it almost never used phased out bolt pistol. Yeah, I did kind of know. I noticed that, but I didn't. Being not a fan of Warhammer, that didn't jump at me, which is unfortunate. But I did notice those weapons she was carrying. And the thing is, as soon as she pulled out one of the glowy swords, I was like, something's wrong here. I don't know what it is because I don't really follow this, but something's wrong. But yeah, it's again, it can be saved. I'm sorry, those 3D videos, especially with the guardsman kicking ass, you could have made a whole freaking video, 30-minute video just like that, and everybody would have watched it. They would have loved it. Minus the dialogue in the beginning. Let's see. War Sniper says, I'm editing my own videos. I have 3 videos online. People can look at them if they want. Hey, there you go. Put it in the meat gazer box down there. And I'm sure people are going. Eric is saying, Warhammer's going girl boss now? Yeah, it is. Let's see. Oh, he continued. With the introduction of a female custodians who pretty much outrank everybody but the Primarchs and the Emperor. I don't know what a Primarch is. So again, they're quite literally girl bosses by default. But so far, it's only been, and one of them looks like Oliver Kahn, the German. Wow. Oh, the German football player. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Although, what really killed me, though, at least for me, is when I see everyone's like, oh, here comes this basically female space marine, and she starts doing sign language. I'm sorry, but what? That's like a Battlefield story. If they put some woman on there who's missing an arm, but she's killing everybody. Oh, wait, they did that. Son of a bitch. Okay. Okay. On the next one here. Chris is here. He says, I'm a private security contractor for a company owned by BlackRock. Oh, boy. The stuff we protect is for EVs and pharmaceutical industries, not always separate from each other. I had to sign an NDA for our trip to North Carolina, but I can say FEMA stole half our stuff. Why does that not surprise me? That does not surprise me at all. I was just listening to a FEMA or a guy who worked for FEMA yesterday, and he's pissed because they have so many different compartments that are not allowed to talk to each other that somebody could just go in, claim their FEMA, and just steal your shit. I mean, it's crazy. It's the bureaucracy in there is painfully dense. I mean, women talk about us, especially when we're young or early teenagers, how we can be painfully dense. Yes, we can be. I know we can be. But try getting through bureaucracy. You want to see some dense crap. There's so much red tape there. You're going to be tied up like a friggin' spider's web. It's just crazy. Ugh. Leonid, I still remember the PS1 boob polygons from Laura Croft. It's iconic. Yeah, and that square butt she had right there, right in your face the whole time. And yeah, they killed that. And I don't think they were already circling the drain with the live action movies, and this just everybody says the same thing. They're never going to do. They don't even want to play the original Tomb Raider anymore. They've killed the series that much. And all I can say is, you don't just boycott something, you mancot that motherfucker, and you just cut all ties to it. That's important. Let's see. War Sniper says, do the space bars. What? Do the space bars. Oh, wait. I'm missing something. Let's see. Chris Dixon here. Oh, by the way, where are DOD adjacent? We got orders today. Oh, okay. Finally. Title 10 orders. Finally. They just issued the clearance for us to use deadly force against what? Against U.S. citizens. I'll be damned if I'll ever follow that order. Dude, I got the same order when I was in. And you know what I said? I said, sir, okay, you're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. What? Put your hands behind your back. And if you don't comply, I'm legal to shoot you. You can't do that. I'm an officer. No, right now, as far as I'm concerned, you're breaking the law. And no kidding, I was just following in what one guy had already started saying. It didn't even occur to me. Here is both. He's already raising his weapon just a little bit. I'm raising. We're locked and loaded at this point. 2 or 3 other guys go around. One guy actually grabs the LT by the arm, pulls him underneath. It's like, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. So you want us to not shoot American citizens? Oh, we can do that. And I'm just looking at him like, you smart ass. And we all just kind of pulled away. That was one of those things. We could have gotten some really deep shit, but we didn't. When my commander, first sergeant, sergeant major, and actual battalion commander found out about that, they were saying they were livid as being nice. They were, when you can hear them screaming a good 400 meters away, they're inside a building at that point, and you can still hear them clearly, you know they're mad. Okay, MTF Guard says, something I find funny is that Helldiver fans are currently accusing Warhammer of stealing the Bile Titans idea because the Tyranid bioform is eerily resembled. You know what this reminds me of? That fight between Harmony Gold and Battletech. My head hurts. My head hurts on that. Look, there's only so many ways you can design a bipedal weapons platform, whether it's organic or not. It's just, there's going to be similarities. And now, whether or not this one has the same issue as the Battletech and Harmony Gold, because they were both lent, they weren't sold, they were lent the designs from a group in Japan. But because they're so similar, what the fuck? It's crazy. Hopefully this one doesn't go into some sort of legal bullshit, because there's enough legal bullshit as it is, and I don't need any more legal bullshit. And before I go any further, I have to hold up and wait a minute because I almost missed it there. We got a Guardian Sage in the house, and he sent a $5 super chat. Let me write you down here, Guardian. And he says, sorry I'm late. Here's some good vibes. Ooh, I feel the good vibes coming in, man. They're good, man. The good vibes, man. I could use some. I've been kind of screaming at the screen for the past hour and change. Let me get back up here around where we were. But yeah, the whole thing about different what you see on screen. There's only so many ways you can do that. They tried to make new bugs for the Starship Troopers, and when they did, the first thing somebody says, that's been used already. And then they tried to do something, and it all came down looking like some sort of actual insect on this planet. And they're like, you can't use that. Like, fuck you guys. Actually, he continues here. Guard says, well, newsflash, that Tyranid bioform has been around since early 2000s. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. It's called the Hierophant or Hierophant. I'm just going to say it in my own accent, Hierophant. And you'd be surprised that I'd be able to pronounce. Now, I did screw up a little bit with a bear, but yeah. Anyways, hold on. We got another Chris Dixon here. It says, by the way, did you get my email? If you did, what do you think of the story? And more good vibes. Ooh, feeling the good vibes, man. Feeling the good vibes. I have received it. I haven't been able to sit down and read it. I'm gonna, in big bold letters, read emails. See, big bold. I'm not kidding. Big bold letters right there in my notes. Read emails. I'm about to write asshole under it because I saw that. Again, every time I turn around, I'm being pulled in another direction. I mean, hell, this story that's coming out tonight, the audio is not even done. Guess what I'm doing after the stream if I don't get pulled off by my bro? And thank you again, Chris Dixon. I appreciate it very much, and I will get back to that as soon as possible. Let's see. You guys sitting here talking about the Discord, so I'm going to flip through that. Let's see, dropping down a little further. Okay. Okay, it looks like somebody's going to be War Sniper's already guessing here. He's asking for tonight, is it the story with a healer with guns? The story that returns tonight, the morning? Maybe. I can't mention exactly which one. See, Ernest says, checking in. I'm late here now. He's here. Ernest is here. Everyone can celebrate now. How you doing? Guard says, yeah, my keyboard spazzed out and added three more over there. So it's okay. Over there. Usually if there's that many over there's actually not a there for it to be over. I mean, seriously, people have been atomized in front of my eyes. It's kind of creepy. Okay, Lena says, I think there's supposed to be an experimental gunship transformer that looks like a droid with 40 millimeter grenades and recoilless rifles during Vietnam Wars. Oh, yep. It was experimental. It was actually their idea of a VTOL. If it stands up straight, when it's flying, it's straight, and it's got this round section on the back with a giant turboprop, actually dual turboprop. When it actually gets to where it's going, the bottom half turns, and the top part bends over. I forget exactly what it's called. And as it bends over, the guns on both sides bend with it. So basically, yeah, you have a 1 or 2 man gunship that moves as fast as a prop-driven aircraft, but can hover like a helicopter, which was a really good idea. It worked, believe it or not. I don't know if more than a couple were made because it was actually discontinued in the testing phase. So we'll see. I mean, they did have prototypes. I'm pretty sure you can find it in Aerospace Museum. I've seen that sucker. And again, the video showed it worked. Scared the living bejesus out of everybody on the ground because they didn't even know what the hell they were looking at. But you need to be an expert pilot to do that. I think at least one test pilot crashed hard. I don't know if he even survived. Demons out here. He says, I got a new upstairs neighbor today. I pray they are better than the last ones. The one working nights, everybody else is up when they try to sleep. Yeah. It is what it is. I was actually just talking to a friend of ours. He's going through a divorce, and we got the spare room, and he could stay. Depending on how things go, we might be here for a week, a month, could be here for a while. He's a really cool guy. It sucks he's going through a divorce, but I mean, that's just the way the cookie fucking crumbles, and it is what it is. Lena says, I think there's going to be a time where people had to get used to a new technology. Yes, I still dislike the Apple replaced the 3.5 millimeter jack with a USB and everybody else copied them. Well, now it's switched from, you can't use USB anyway. You got to use USB-C. I really don't know the difference. Let's see. MTF Guard saying to Lena, saw your comment about the show obsolete. To be honest, I felt like it was an amazing show until they did the final episode, and it was one of those damn anime tropes. I try to dodge the tropes, people, I swear to God, but you gotta watch that. And my biggest pet peeve on all anime and anime tropes is having this huge fucking battle and magically everybody either survives or is brought back to life. I'm like, dude, you just took a cruise missile to the ball sack. You're not walking away from that. You're not freaking Goku. You're not Superman. You're just a normal guy. How in the hell did you survive that? It doesn't make sense. Oh, it's a happy ending. No. Ernest sitting here going, busy? I'm doing a 16-hour day. Well, here's hoping the live stream helps you get through it. Let's see. Okay. Oh, sorry. Guard actually sent two ones. So one of those Cham tropes with the flying exosuits and to them going from serious to chibi in like 5 seconds. Ay, chihuahua. I don't know if you guys know chibi. It's usually kind of goofy, almost childish, cartoonish type things where they shrink down the character into, I don't know, the white guy from Big Hero 6, the big fluffy dude, but a lot smaller. It's really goofy. I've never cared about chibi stuff. I really don't. Lena says, I thought the 12th episode of Obsolete was funny, to be honest. Maybe they did it for laughs. I don't know. You just know, you just kind of know what Japan is going to do when it gets there. When it gets their hands on mech suits. They're going to be making an anime. Or they're going to be fighting in the Pacific Rim. Everybody knows that one. Because that live action movie was designed specifically to look like an anime. It was supposed to be their version, or the Western version of Evangelion. And you know what? I didn't care much for Evangelion when it was out there because it was a total mindfuck, and the last episode didn't make any fucking sense. Especially the extended one. I'm sitting here like, why am I looking back at the audience here? That doesn't make any freaking sense. What in the ever-loving fuck knuckles is going on? People stick to the story. I know it's supposed to be a psychological twister, but I'm sitting there going, I'm bored. When's the end of it? This is dumb. See, Guard comes back with, I mean, the show is great, but the last episode really knocked me out of the immersion. Ooh, good point. Good point. You know what took me out of immersion? And it took the entire theater out of immersion? On Endgame, the girl boss scene. We all know it, and I never thought I would hear an entire audience inside a theater go, ugh. Just, ugh. And I'm not kidding. I'm way up to the front. I actually went, what the fuck? Like, I didn't think everybody would just cringe at the same time. That was crazy. But yeah, that actually took me right out of the movie. Like right there out of the movie. I'm like, no. Demon chimes in. If you want to watch an anime that has no real ending, watch Toko, known for having one of the biggest cliffhangers in anime history. And that's how it ends. Even the manga stops at the same point. So, yeah. I try not to do the cliffhangers myself unless the story's supposed to continue. I don't know why they did the cliffhanger. The only thing I can think of is like several different animes that were really good were not continued because either A, they were waiting for the manga to drop, or the person who created it croaked. And when that happens, it's unfortunate for everybody, not just the guy who wrote it, because no one's going to ever know how it's actually supposed to end. So, I mean, it is what it is, and ain't what it ain't, but still, it's annoying if nothing else. Ugh. Let's see. Leonid also comes in with, in the enemy obsolete, the aliens trade away alien tech for 1 ton of marble. What? So the new mech suits end up really cheap. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Demon says there's no true ending. It's really good horror anime, but having no ending sucks. Well, that would be literal if it was a vampire anime. MTF Guard says to answer your Sister of Battle question with why they look identical, it's because they're using the DNA of the first ever Sisters of Battle to augment themselves. Okay, that makes sense. Which is why changes to their bodies almost look identical to them, which is why they all look identical. That is good to know. See, again, you got to take it from the fans, people. You guys are the fans. Okay. I wouldn't have known this. I had a suspicion it was something around this line because it had to do with augmentation. But again, if I was to do an actual Warhammer story, this is the type of stuff I need to know. I'm not a deep devoted fan. If I don't know this, I wouldn't be able to pay homage to the characters. And that is important because you got to keep consistency. If you don't, if you take a story and you minus consistency, you get Disney. And hold on, we got another $5 super chat from the Guardian Sage. Let me put a ×2 next to your stuff here really quick. And he says, USB can only go to the right, go in right side up, while USB-C can go either way. USB is a trapezoid, USB-C is oval. Yep. Okay. It didn't occur to me that, USB can only, hold on, let me rephrase. I know I had to be reminded of why it's better for the USB-C. I personally didn't think of it because I'm so used to just looking at it and going, taking the USB and going, oh, you just kind of look at it. You don't, with the USB-C, apparently it's without eyes. You don't even have to look. It's a good point to bring up, Guardian Sage. I hope you're doing well, and thanks for the heads up on that. Let me run up here really quick. But yeah, Guard continues, by the way. He says, and just to be clear, out only spec op level guardsmen get power swords and plasma pistols. She was just a simple guardsman, not a spec op, and not a grenadier who also gets the anti-armor plasma pistols. Okay, they had a lot of grenadiers in that video, that's for sure, and they work great. Although those las cannon guns things they carry seem to be a hell of a lot more effective in that cutscene than they usually are. But usually the cutscenes are just to make the Space Marines look so great. I was just like, whatever. Let's see. He also says, Sisters of Silence, the sign language girl, is a custodian level group of female warriors called Sisters of Silence who, this jumped. Who took a vow of silence due to them being blanks. What do you gonna have to say? Are they blanks like they're clones, or are they blanks like they got? Oh, never mind. He's got it right here. Blanks are pretty much humans without soul. What? Humans without souls and can counter the warp by just putting their hand on whoever is using the powers of it. No shit. So they actually do have a actual fight against that type of power. Because every time I hear somebody talk about the warp in Warhammer, it's always this tsunami of power that nobody can fight against. So good to know that they actually have that. Although, how in the hell do you do that without a soul? Although I will say this, Guard, when I did the whole clones in It's Raining, and I showed that the first generation didn't have anything inside, yeah, I caught a whole bunch of hell for that. Apparently, Warhammer does it better. Let's see. Demon says, just a reminder to those coming to the live stream late, I'll be commenting on the live stream after it's over at some point while I'm at work. So people can go to my profile so you can email me to join at the Discord. Yep. And he's leaving for work. Okay. Leonid says, I just called Backrooms the Infinite IKEA, which has been... Okay, he must be talking about something. I just called Backrooms an infinite IKEA, which had been an older SCP story. It's actually true. Maybe that's where they got the idea. I don't know. I don't know where they actually filmed the original Backrooms. It was really not well done, but because it hit all the tropes with the jump scares and everything like that. I'm like, sorry, if something that big is hunting you, it's going to look at you. And when you go to run, it's going to chase you down and kill you. Just that simple. It's not going to be sitting there playing with you. It's not going to play with his food. It's just going to come at you. Let's see. War Sniper. He wants the healer story with the foxy lady and the prince who blew his brains out with the healer's gun. I honestly thought that scene was going to be funny. And apparently you guys enjoyed it. He's like, oh, you're just a healer. You don't know what you're... Yeah. That's like playing Russian roulette with a semi-automatic. You just don't do it, people. You just don't do it. I'll let you know which one it is. I do believe you're going to like the one that's coming. But anyways, Leland says, oh yeah, from the Spider-Man multiverse, Penny Parker's backstory is literally an Evangelion. Okay, I haven't. People say those are great. I haven't seen them. I have not seen any of them. So I can't comment on something I don't know at all. That being said, apparently what some folks talk about is the multiverse that Spider-Man does is actually done right. I've done a multiverse story based on the DC universe, and I personally think I did it better than they do. Well, then again, that's not much of a stretch. Most people that do DC they don't seem to know what they're doing anymore. Maybe they just got rid of all their good people. I don't know. Chris Dixon says, the Blood Angels are space vampires. Why not? And yes, I do know who the Blood Angels are. I do know that much about Warhammer. Lena says, USB-C can play music digitally. Oh, FYI, if you guys haven't seen it, there a lot of times if somebody wants to actually hack your phone, what they'll do is at the charging stations that they set up, like at the airports and stuff like that, people will leave a charging cable there. It doesn't look any different, but when you hook it up to your phone, it immediately hooks the phone up to a different Wi-Fi network and it can copy everything. So if you have any digital money, they've just copied everything, your entire account, and don't expect it to be there because they'll just download it all and they'll suck it dry. And not in a fun way. You know, it's just things to be careful of. Do not use anybody else's charger. Just use your own. And by the way, it's not hard to get one of these fake chargers. It's actually really easy. Chris saying, gotta go. Stay safe, everybody. And War Sniper says, I gotta sleep. It's 1:51. I need to get up at 7. So good night, everybody. Guardian Sage says, Evangelion was good until the last few episodes where it just gets confusing and weird. I fully 150,000% agree with you. Seriously, I was sitting there looking at the beer I was drinking going, this ain't cutting it. I don't have enough of this to deal with. By the way, I might have a beer tonight, but I got to have my head clear for this extra recording. So we have already reached the bottom of here. Oh, no, Leonid says Warhammer 40K and Star Wars go best together. Do the warship and Emperor? Yes. Does he yes. Does he shoot lightning from his fingers and sits on a chair? Yep. I didn't even think about that. They go together. Why not? The two main baddies are space wizards. Anyway, we've reached the bottom, folks, and we've been on for about an hour and a half. So I'm going to kind of call it here. Before I go, really quick, I want to send out a great thank you to everybody who's thrown some extra support my way. You know, Guard, Erica Gem, SS Demon, Brian Kemp, Guardian Sage, and Chris Dixon. Thank you so much. Yes, I do write it down, folks. I told you I do. All right, before I go, safety brief. If you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, you don't drink. If your buddy or if your little buddy wants to go into the bush, make sure he wears his poncho. If you don't know what I mean, put your brain inside the gutter and you'll know what I mean. Little soldier in the bush. All right. Also, remember that the critters are saving up for fall, or it's autumn now, which means the critters are going to be running around crazy trying to get the last bit of food. Be careful on the roads, okay? I almost hit a skunk this morning, and believe me, you do not want that spraying your car, truck, or whatever. God help you guys who actually drive a motorcycle. You don't want to get spritzed. You will not get that shit out of leather. Trust me, I try. I used to ride a horse. That being said, aside from that, folks, take care of yourselves, everybody. I will see you here next week on Syntext Live. And by the way, like I say, who's awesome? You guys are awesome. And I'll see you later. This is Syntext ejecting.